We are Ty and Skye Evans, TS Mules. A lot of people ask why mules? Why not horses? For me, it actually has been both my whole life. I've had all of them. In fact, my dad, he started out as a quarter horse guy, and then he got involved training mules for the public. Took on a few. He became known as the mule guy. But for me, as Mule Guy Junior, growing up, uh, I just went into the training and took 90% mules. 9 out of 10 would be mules. But I love horses too. I mean, we have horses on and off all the time, and we'll have more horses in the future too. But my main thing, we're up here in the mountains. This is mule country all the way. And not saying that horses can't do this, because there's plenty of horses up here too. But we love the mules. I love the sure-footedness of them. I love the confidence that they have when you treat them right, you raise them right, train them right. The confidence that they have in the backcountry, in this terrain, is just uncomparable.
I like mules because what I think I like most about mules is their mind and how they think through situations a little bit more than maybe your average horse. I like that they like to keep themselves safe, and they're in keeping you safe most of the time.
I like the donkey side of the brain, how they
Yeah.
stop and think, and that little pause that the donkey brain has. If you just shave a little of the time off by mixing it with a horse, we're just right with the mule.
You get the best of both worlds.
I always joke in my clinics that with the donkey, it takes 7 to 10 business days. And with a horse, it's really quick, sometimes too quick. Oftentimes when I'm working with horses, I'm trying to get the horse's mind to slow down. I'm trying to get the donkey mind to speed up. And mule, somewhere in between. You never know with a hybrid. But I do love how they typically sort through dangerous situations, and they pause a little bit, they consider it, they get to where they learn how to place their feet. They learn really fast, and that's awesome with the mule.
I think a horse is really quick to guess what you want. They're going to be quick and reactive and guess what you're after. A donkey is going to think about it a long time because they want to get it right the first time. So if you put the two together, you try and find a mixture of that. You want them to think before they react, and that's what we like about the mules.
Yeah, and honestly, there has been plenty of times where I wish I could get my mule to think as fast as a horse and just go when I want him to go. That's usually in ranching scenarios, cattle specifically, where I don't want 7 to 10 business days. I want it to happen now, and the mule's like, hold on, just wait. Let's think about this. Let's consider this. And then the cow's gone. But that's rare, and also, the type of stockmanship that we practice, Great Basin style of stockmanship, it is very slow work anyways with cattle. So the mule fits into that for our lifestyle 90% of the time. And I also like just with mules, I love the personality that they have.
They're like a dog.
They are like a dog. So they just are so thoughtful and considerate.
I think it's fun with mules because you can really build a relationship and a partnership, so that when you get in a pickle, that they are there for you and you're there for them, and you're really kind of one.
Really what inspired me, there's a time Skye and we had sold our first home. We were in between, didn't really have a place to live. In fact, we were living with your cousin, and they had Netflix, and this was cool to us. Like, wow, you got Netflix. Like, that was way back when, and they had the movie Buck. There's a clinician in the horsemanship world named Buck Brannaman, and this first came out. It was 2011 or something like that, long time ago. and I was watching it, and it's a documentary about this man, and it's mostly about his life, but it has his career in there, and his career is what my career is now, is a clinician traveling around the world teaching horsemanship, and it was cool to learn about his life. But when I saw that career, I'm like, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. I really want to help people because up to that point, I had trained for the public, and it was continuous, the same cycle. I'd work on a mule for a long time, and I felt like I was doing a good job. Now looking back, probably not, but I felt like I was doing a good job. And then the owners would come out. I would show them everything. I would show them everything I did, and then I'd say, okay, now you go ahead and get on it and do that stuff. And they couldn't get it done. My mindset back then was on the mule, like, okay, hold on, the mule's messing up, and if it dawned on me that no, mules are just being a mule. Like, we can't get upset about a mule or a horse just being what they are, but it's the people that needed the help. And I feel blessed personally, in my mindset, my life, where I really love mules and horses, and I really love people. I really do. I enjoy working with people. I know a lot of horsemen that are way better than me. They're better trainers, but they don't like people, and it'll never work out. And they'll go out and they'll try to do some clinics and try to do some stuff, and they fall and crash because they don't like people. And then there are other people that I meet that are really good with humans, but they can't really get anything done. They really can't get anything done with the animal. And I feel blessed that I get along good with mules and horses, and I get along good with people. And so I remember watching that documentary thinking, hey, that's the job I want. That's what I want to do. And, fast forward way down the road, and we're doing it. And Buck Brannaman, I've learned a lot from him. He don't know who I am. I've been to a lot of his clinics, but so has a lot of people. But he wouldn't know anything about me or how much that documentary inspired me, but it really did. And then it just kept morphing from there, and here we are now. We've been doing clinics. At the time of making this video, we've been doing clinics now over 13 years. So pretty cool.
I think also with the clinics, we kind of realized, if you think about it in like dog training, if you send your dog off to like obedience school and you just went and picked it up and brought it home, but you didn't learn what the dog learned, you're not going to get along with the dog any more than when you sent it home. So we kind of realized the people need to be taught,
Yeah,
and be able to learn how to make that connection with their own mule by themselves.
in our clinics, we teach principles. And I feel it's the principles that really bring people together, and it makes a standard. It makes a community where you get with people that are on the same playing field, on the same level, they have the same mindset and standards as you do. And I think when students come, if they have that mindset, or if they want that mindset, even, they show up to a clinic and there's 15, 20 other people there that have that mindset, it is like a moth to light. They love it. And at the end of this whole road, that's pretty valuable to me. It's great that people can get their mules to, turn, stop, cross water, whatever. But at the end of this whole deal, if I can bring people together and make better humans for the mule, I'll feel really accomplished. And I think people know that. And people are no different than mules and horses. Everybody wants to be, they want to be loved, and they want to know somebody cares. At the beginning of all my clinics, I tell my students, hey, I am sincerely here to help you. And I really mean it. I'm not just saying it for lip service. I really mean it. I want people to know that I really care about their success here. And the cool thing is that is contagious. And my students end up having the same mindset as I do, to where if you show up to a clinic, other students in my clinic are actually going to care about you too. And they want you to succeed just as much as they want their own success. At my clinics, it's not a competition. Nobody has to lose at my clinics to be successful. There's not a distinctive winner loser line. We're all in it for the same thing. We want our mules to become the best they can be, but in order for that to happen, we have to become our best, and that is contagious. That is very much a feel. That's a feeling that people get. They know that, and I think that's why the community comes about. That's why the community blossoms. And then now it's so fun. There's little groups literally all over the world that come together and ride together because of our clinics, because of meeting at our clinics. And then they go off and they work together, and then maybe I only get to come once a year to some of these spots or whatever. And they're like, "Hey, look, we've all been working on this." And it's one of my favorite things. It's one of my favorite things. And I love seeing students at my clinic helping other students. It's just amazing.
That's my favorite part too of the clinics, is seeing people make long-lasting friendships, meeting at a clinic and then staying in touch after the clinic and riding together, and then even coming back, because we have some clinic locations where people plan to come to that place so they can see those friends again. And then, I mean, and it's all throughout the world too. People make connections, especially through our master class, and they have friends across the country or out of the country that they keep in touch with. And I think who you surround yourself with makes a big difference in whatever you're doing. So if we're talking mulemanship, having people who have the same standards and same or similar goals is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Makes a big difference in the end goal.
Well, we met, I was 13 and she was 12, and her dad came to pick up a mule for my dad. They had met on a mule ride, and they pulled up in the driveway, and
it was love at first sight.
Love at first sight. For me, for her, probably not. But from that mule, my dad and Skye's dad became pals and did a lot of riding, a lot of camping together. We grew up camping and having fun, a lot of mule rides, a lot of memories made, and kept going from there. We actually didn't date till I was out of high school. She was a senior.
Yep.
And yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. But we've been married now. This is 2025. We've been married now almost 16 years. And our whole life, besides being, evolved around each other, is secondary is mules. But yeah, from the beginning of our marriage, we always had mules in training and kept going. And that over the years evolved into Skye taught some riding lessons, and then I taught some riding lessons, and evolved into some clinics. And now, we are full-time doing clinics, going down the road. And that's even evolving over the years into more online stuff. Now I'd say I do more online stuff than actual clinics. The online stuff is all the time. We're very blessed. We really are. We're blessed to have two wonderful daughters. Our oldest loves to ride, loves everything mules, loves everything horses. She's just totally in it. Our youngest daughter, Swayze, she's my fishing buddy.
She loves animals.
She loves animals and loves to fish, and she's just a sweetheart. But they've both grown up on the road with us. Their whole lives, they've been on the road doing clinics, and they've been immersed in this life, and it's a blessing to have such a wonderful family. It really is. That's my most cherished thing in this life is my family, above all else. Mules are awesome. I love my mules, but my family's first, and it's pretty amazing to have a great family. I get asked a lot of times, okay, well, what do you do outside of clinics, outside of the mule world? And I say, I ride my mules to go fishing. So a lot of people are surprised that my career and my passion, my life, my enjoyment, all that is evolved around the mule. So they're very much involved in everything we do. Even when we go on vacation, one time we went to Hawaii, and we were just looking for mules the whole time. And we found some. We did find some, and
Didn't write 'em.
we didn't ride them there. But mules are definitely our passion, our whole life. But one of my favorite enjoyments in life, if you, my ultimate vacation is a pack trip into the wilderness on my mules, and go back, set up camp, and ride out every day and find cool fishing spots in the beautiful terrain that God's created. That is my ultimate.
I was gonna say, other than riding mules, if I had a vacation or something I love to do, it's just going out with my mom and my cousins. That's it.
Her mom and her cousins are her best pals, and,
Yeah.
and they enjoy it. You like to
I like to do nothing with
just hang out with your mom.
Yeah,
That's
with
I-
my favorite people.
one time, I think it was the gift that got me the most points of all in our marriage. I sent her and her mother on a vacation to San Diego. And,
Yeah.
and I
You set
just
the bar pretty
I booked
high.
I booked the Airbnb for her and got the plane tickets, got the rental car, and I said, "Here you go." And they had fun doing nothing in San Diego.
Yep. Great. Yep.
I was a winner that week.
Having people who have the same standards and same or similar goals is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a big difference in the end goal.
Yep. You have to edit that part out.
I'm hoping with those mics.
I was like, don't laugh, don't laugh.
Well, I saw Alyssa smile. Like, dang it, Alyssa.
I know. I was like, don't
smile.
look at them.